into danger.
All right, so now we're back to officer created jeopardy.
Even if you acknowledge if you completely ignore that first part, I mean, don't you think it is reasonable to assume that if you can get their license plate number and flee the scene, can't you then send them mail to let them know that there are charges against them? That's typically what happens. There's no reason to block them. And then on top of it, after they had stepped in.
Okay. So I don't usually do this, but let's play the opening statement, because First Amender, like, he has this weird way of reading his script when he's doing his opening statement, and it's so robotic and weird. So I got to play you some of it just to show you what I'm talking about.
The full context of the evidence, be it showing the ICE officer's potential innocence or guilt in the matter. The ICE officer has given a lawful order to get out of the vehicle to potentially investigate citizenship status of Renee Good. Renee has a responsibility to stop the vehicle and step out. Renee Good does not perform this, making her next set of actions illegal in the eyes of the law.
See, look how he's like reading it. He's like, which makes the next step of actions not good for the law. Like, he reads it so robotically, and I'm like, why does First Amender do this? You know, like, why does he do his opening statements like this? It's not the first time he's read it like this either.
The officer in question, Jonathan Ross, not the officer actively trying to open the door to Renee Good's vehicle, can be seen in front of the vehicle and is currently midway into pulling his firearm out while recording with his phone from his left hand. Here we can see Jonathan Ross having fired his first shot at Renee Good, which we now know as having been the shot to kill her, as the vehicle had been put in drive and then began moving forward and to the right. However, by looking closely at the footage, by the time the first shot had been fired, we can observe that Jonathan Ross's feet both firmly planted alongside the vehicle, preventing any chance of Jonathan Ross's life being threatened to warrant such an action. Here we can observe a second and a third shot fired as the car began to veer off to the right, clearly out of Jonathan Ross's way. If he wasn't safe enough from being run over by Renee Good, he certainly was now that he had been firing at a fleeing vehicle.
Damn! Oh my fucking God!
Here in a separate angle, we can observe the car moving forward and to the right while we see Jonathan Ross's feet once again planted alongside of the vehicle.
Like, why does he read it like this? Like, why does he read it so robotically and monotone in nature? It's like, yeah, here we see Officer so-and-so moving his feet in and out of the way of the car.
Vehicle by the time the first shot had been fired.
The first shot having fired. Do we ever get an update on Doggo, by the way? Is Dog okay? I'm concerned about Doggo.
That's fine, dude. I'm not mad at you.
The words, "That's fine, dude, I'm not mad."
And by the way, the little like slide noises, the sounds very much like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the 2004 remake, I believe, or was that 2003 remake? You know, when they're showing the slides and like, why did he add those in there?
Mad at you are the last words Renee Good made before tragically losing her life to Jonathan Ross.
Change our plates every morning, just so you know.
Jonathan Ross having diligently recorded the license plate of Renee Good, which, under different circumstance, would be used to find Renee's address and submit a court order for fleeing the scene and blocking traffic in the state of Minnesota. However, this ultimately does not happen due to the actions of Jonathan Ross took upon himself that day.
It'll be the same plate when you come talk to us later. That's fine. U.S. citizen, former fucking veteran. You want to come at us? You want to come at us? I say go get yourself some lunch, big boy. Go ahead.
Out the car.
Friggin' tough talking snizzlicker right here. Trying to talk tough. Like, what, boy? I lick sniz too, and what? Come on. I really just watched a video of midgets taking down full-grown, muscle-bound women. So I don't know what this snizzlicker thought she could do to this officer.
Get out of the fucking car. Get out of the...
Jonathan Ross, in observing the vehicle having been taken out of park and put in reverse, had decided to place his body in front of the vehicle to block her from leaving. This is around the same time he also, while recording on his phone, never once losing control of the phone in his left hand, reached for his gun on the right, likely to scare Renee Good from leaving. Here we can observe Renee Good clearly making an effort to turn her car to the right away from the ICE officer and her partner telling her to drive, baby, drive.
Whoa!
I still love that.
In Minnesota Statute 609.06, authorized use of force, a person including private citizens and peace officers may use reasonable force when they reasonably believe that it is necessary under certain circumstances, such as resisting an offense against themselves or another, or assisting in lawful arrest. Minnesota recognizes deadly force, example such as shooting a firearm at someone, a force that is intended or that the actor should reasonably know creates a substantial risk of death or of great bodily harm. The taking of life or use of death.
Yeah, so I just basically wanted to show you his opening statement because I was like, why does First Amender read his opening statements like this in these videos? Like, it's so monotone and it's so weird. So I'm going to skip ahead real quick and I will be right back.
2020, vehicle driven towards officers is an immediate threat of significant physical harm. The Ninth Circuit held deadly force was objectively... Yeah, so in Connor versus Graham, this is exactly what it's talking about 2020 hindsight. It specifically says that these cops have to make these decisions within split seconds. So you said he was clearly, because you're watching the video, literally breaking it up
That's not
frame
what
by
Graham
frame.
versus Connor argues.
What does it argue then?
Graham versus Connor argues that claims that law enforcement using excessive force during a stop, arrest, or seizure must be analyzed under the Fourth Amendment's objective reasonableness standard, not under substantive due process.
And it also mentions hindsight and split-second decisions.
So again, I find it difficult to believe that as a car is fleeing, that it is reasonable to shoot at the person that is fleeing. And by the way, they're already dead, and he's continuing to shoot at them after that he's already safe. I want to know how exactly it is reasonable to assume that you have a threat of death or serious physical injury when you are well out of the way of the vehicle.
I would like to show a video at some point, James, to bolster this point. But the fact that he got struck by the vehicle passes the test for objectively, reasonably believing that this vehicle was being used against you as a deadly weapon. So he has justified use of force. He shot probably less than a second after being touched by the vehicle, whether you want to call it a grazing or not. The following shots, again, I think a total of 4 shots. We thought it was 3 at first. Just today, it was released that she was shot 4 times. Those 4 bullets, all 4, within less than 2 seconds. So you want him to react faster than 2 seconds?
No, but what I would say is he had created his own environment when he stepped in front of the vehicle himself.
Okay.
He made the decision himself to step in front of a vehicle that is not in park, that is not in neutral. It had already been in reverse by the time that he had placed himself in front of the vehicle. There is no training guide that suggests police or any law enforcement officer of any kind to step in front of a vehicle when it is not in park or neutral. It just isn't a thing. It is an incredibly irresponsible decision. And it really is akin to, let's say, if there is a person that's on the side of the road, I step in front of traffic, and if I get grazed, I have a right to shoot the person that was in that vehicle when I had stepped in front of that vehicle. Even if
That's
I'm law
completely
enforcement officer,
disanalogous.
no, it's exactly analogous. He placed
Yeah.
himself in front of the vehicle, and then
Yeah,
after,
while-
even
while
after
she
the
was
fact that he was off to the side, he continued shooting.
Yeah, so this is the stupid quote from freaking First Amender is like, well, he shouldn't have been standing in front of the car. And it's like, well, she shouldn't have been there in the first place. She's the one that chose to park her car there and try to obstruct ICE. It wasn't like, oh, she was misplaced. Doesn't make any sense. And so that wouldn't have all happened if she wasn't there in the first place. But First Amender keeps trying to put it in is that why is he standing in front of the car? And it's like, well, and then later on he brings up like a stupid analogy where he's like, you're Indiana Jones and you're standing in front of a boulder coming toward you. Where are you gonna stand in front of it? And it's like, well, in that analogy, the boulder is already coming toward you. But when it comes to this situation, the car wasn't moving. So why would he have a fear of standing in front of the car? Like, why are you putting the blame on the officer for standing in front of the car?
So I no matter how I look at this, even in the most charitable way, I try to say, hey, she should have stopped. I agree with you. She should have stopped. She should have stepped out.
Well, there you go.
You know, that's fine. I'm not against that, right? We can, and you could see that in my intro.
Yeah.
I'm looking at this at a very objective standard here. We can see his feet clearly out of.
I agree with you. In bed, not inbred. I don't believe First Amendment truly believes what he's saying. He wants to win the debate, but not try to understand or learn. That's why he's always loses. Yeah, I do agree with you partially. I do think. Well, listen. I actually don't know if he really believes what he believes. Like, he does seem like a leftist, so he might really believe all these things. I really don't know. But what I do agree with you on is that he wants to win the debate, but not try to understand or learn. That's why he always loses. I do agree with you on that, because he will say, well, I'm trying to debate so we can learn from one another. But he doesn't seem to learn from any of the right-leaning people at all. It just seems like he just wants to give his point, and he wants the righties to learn from him. That's what it seems like it is. And that is also why he always loses, is because he always argues from this viewpoint. So I do agree with you mostly from there.
The way he is not in mortal danger, even by the time that he fires the first shot. There is zero justification for the second and third shot. Just so you know, there will be 3 charges. And those charges will involve.
Yeah, I was laughing at this part when he's like, there will be 3 charges. And it's like, what? 3 charges? No, there's not. And Wi-Fi is like, there's not going to be any charges, which I agree with Wi-Fi. I don't think there's going to be any charges.
Will involve each shot. Well, we'll see.
I mean, there's definitely going to be no federal charges. The state might try, but they have no jurisdiction. But that's not what the debate's about. Maybe we could talk about that another time. So as far as I don't want to straw man your position, but I think I may have found a possible contradiction. Because at first you said he was not in danger of losing his life or of having serious bodily harm. But then you said he created his own situation. Now, the possible contradiction comes in with officer created jeopardy. If you're trying to use that kind of principle, you would then, an officer created jeopardy only exists if the officer creates danger. So there either has to be danger or there is no danger. So I just kind of want to get clarification on your point there.
So he placed himself into danger, but that's
a good thing that Wi-Fi is bringing up, because like he keeps saying, well, he put himself in danger by standing in front of the car. But why would he feel the need to be in danger by standing in front of the car? That's an important question for all these lefties that they need to answer. Like, why is he in danger by standing in front of the car? That's a good question. He also walked behind the car. Was he in danger when he was walking behind the car? It's the thing is that the car doesn't control itself. It's controlled by a person. And why would he be in danger if this woman was not a threat?
And as soon as the car moved forward, he moved off to the side, removing himself from the danger.
So wait, placing yourself in front of a vehicle that is not moving forward is in danger?
It was reversing, and so
Yep.
it is safe to say that he's there to potentially stop them from going forward or moving any further. They then place it into drive, and he dodges out of the way to the side.
So
He
then him
gets
already
grazed.
being in front of the vehicle, because he doesn't enter the front of the hood when the car is moving. If we want to play the clip again, we can. But he is moving towards the right side of the vehicle as the vehicle is in reverse. Now, he's not required to disengage, and he's not legally required to step out of the path of the vehicle, right? Renee is in full control of escalation and the direction the vehicle will go in.
I'm
Now,
not saying that
Exactly.
sorry, go ahead.
well, I'm just saying that I lost my train of thought there. Go ahead.
Damn, that sucks. That sucks that he lost his train of thought there because he was actually cooking right there. That was actually perfect what he was saying right there. But it happens. It happens in these debates. But I think if he didn't get interrupted by First Amender, I think he would have had him.
I'm not saying that she's not in the right or that she's somehow in the right for moving the vehicle. She certainly should have stepped out.
Right.
That doesn't mean, therefore, the officer has a right to shoot them.
Right.
If you're talking about the Graham versus Connor Fourth Amendment analysis, police can't just recklessly or unreasonably create a dangerous situation and then claim that they had no choice but to use force because the danger that they themselves caused by placing himself in front of that vehicle, it is as clear as day that he had decided.
Creating a danger, like what the hell are you talking about? She's the one that created the danger when she parked in the middle of the road. It wasn't like she was parked off to the side and the ICE officers just decided to randomly start harassing her. She was parked in the middle of the road, and she did that with the intention of blocking ICE officers from enforcing the law.
To use his body to block her from leaving. And the fact that he's sitting there holding a gun in one hand and in the left hand with his phone, he clearly does not believe that he is in mortal danger in that moment. I mean, if you've genuinely feared for your life, would you be holding your phone out and recording?
I mean, that's true. At that moment, he wasn't in fear of his life. When he was walking around the car filming, it's true. He wasn't in fear of his life. That's why everything was so relaxed. Like the fucking snizzlicker of a partner was talking shit to him and he wasn't doing anything. And so he felt like he was relaxed. Like he was just walking around recording, documenting everything, recording the vehicle. And then he stopped in front of the car, right? And then the snizzlicker of a partner was like, drive, baby, drive. And so then she started driving off and he was still in front of the vehicle. And so he like moved, like he did his best to move out of the side, but he still got hit. And he shot her on the way back. So yeah, you're right. He wasn't a fear of his life up until the moment when she started accelerating the car toward him.
I don't know. You can't really judge those situations. Adrenaline's pumping. That's probably the first time he's ever fired that gun.
I'm not sure if he ever fired that gun.
Yeah,
prior.
we don't have that information.
But with that being said, if I'm fearing for my life, the last that I'm concerned with would be I got to get footage of this, and this is coming as a YouTuber. I don't think I would be capable of holding a phone up. Like I can imagine if
stupid fucking First Amendment. I'm a YouTuber, like asshole. I thought you wanted ICE officers to document everything. Don't you want them to document everything? So why are you against him holding his phone?
Somebody, say, for example, had a gun pointed at me, My idea is not, oh, I got to record this. My idea is I need to duck and cover. I got to get out of the way. I got to flee the situation.
Yeah, well, that's exactly the difference between a civilian and a police officer. A police officer doesn't think, I got to run away. A police officer thinks, I have to neutralize this threat before she hurts me or somebody else.
Hold on. If somebody, for example, is firing a gun,
Mhm.
first and foremost, safety is the modus. It's not immediately to shoot the person. It's to get out of
Yes,
the
it
way.
is.
You seek cover when you're a police officer. If
Yeah,
you're
and the
not, if
best
you
way
are
to
not
get cover
covered,
is
you
offensive
need to
fire.
cover. That's not true.
That is the best.
It is
Yes,
not
it
true.
is.
Yeah.
Because
It's not
it
true.
makes
if somebody is
it's
aiming
like
a gun
fighting.
at you, you need to cover.
The best defense is an offense. This is how boxers go.
This is beside the point. He
Yeah,
had
yeah. No, Wi-Fi gospel is absolutely right there.
placed himself in front of the vehicle. He himself
Right.
recklessly and
No.
unreasonably created a dangerous situation. And
Right. Potential
his
risk.
claim is that he had no choice but to use force because of the danger that he himself caused. He
Right.
created, it is an officer created jeopardy. It's a
No, it's not.
fabulous, it is. It's, I don't know how else. So we see
Because
the
he didn't
footage.
he
We
didn't
see
put
it.
himself he did not put himself in immediate danger. He put himself in a risky situation. I could even admit that maybe he violated his own policy. We don't have the exact policies, but based on other policies of departments that we see, I do agree with you that I haven't personally seen one that allows for, someone to just stay in front of the vehicle. But
So-
even if it was bad policy, that doesn't affect the legality, and that doesn't mean that him making a bad choice of positioning makes it officer-created jeopardy. Officer-created jeopardy would be if Renee was driving down the street, say she already escaped. She was driving down the street, and then he walks around the corner, runs directly in front of her car, and starts shooting. That would be officer-created jeopardy.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Exactly. Yeah. It is.
you agree that it wasn't policy to step in front of the vehicle and body
So
blanket
that's one of the left-wing cope is that like, well, it's against policy to stand in front of the car right there. Oh, the thing is that it was a non-moving vehicle. It was stopped. It was parked. So why should he feel unsafe standing in front of a parked vehicle? All right, that doesn't make any sense. But that's what they'll try to use. They'll be like, oh yeah, but why would he stand in front of a vehicle? Yeah, it was parked though. It was parked. And by the way, let me read out these super chats real quick. Scott, thank you very much for $2. 2 glasses of wine. Yes. Sorry about my drunken mispronunciation of words, but thank you very much for your $2, Scott. And also thank you very much, Ken, for $5. Cheers. Hell yeah. Cheers to you, brother. And Kokomo for 15 Australian dollar dues. Got nothing to say, just wanting to support. Thank you guys very much. And thank you guys very much for completing the first dono goal. And also thank you very much, Gorilla Biscuits, for gifting a Cool Vic membership. Congrats to Cat Wags. Cat Wags. Thank you very much for gifting that Gorilla Biscuits, and congratulations, Cat Wags, for winning that. Still no Pumpkinhead. Still no membership from Pumpkinhead. Hopefully one day he will be a bride and not just a bridesmaid.
leaving,
Yeah,
right?
we don't know if it was ICE's exact policy that goes against that, but we have seen
there
that
is no
policy
office.
in
Yeah,
other-
there is no known officer policy that says, "Hey, stand in front of a vehicle." You just don't do that.
Yeah.
You would never do that.
I can concede that.
All right, great, fabulous. Is it fair to say that somebody that willfully makes a decision like that is likely being negligent, or that they are not acting in safety's interest?
I would say he made a mistake.
What?
That was a safety concern.
Okay.
What? Not acting in safety's interest? It was a parked car, First Amender. Why would he not be acting at first? See, this is the question you need to ask these lefties when they make this argument. Why would it not be in safety's concern to stand in front of a parked car? Should you not stand in front of a car at all? Is that the rule? For safety concern, should you not stand in front of a parked car? They might say, like, yeah, like, I mean, no, like obviously you could stand in front of a parked car. So then you should ask him, okay, then what made him standing in front of that car dangerous? Ask them that, because then they might have to acknowledge that, yes, this radical lefty being behind the wheel of this parked car is dangerous to this officer. Or they might try to avoid saying that.
So you started this debate by saying that Renee Good got what she deserved. But judging the fact that the police officer specifically made a pretty egregious error here, so much so that this error cost the life of Renee Good, it's probably fair to say that she did not get what she deserved.
No, because
I'm asking you.
He did not create the situation. He is not the one who put her life in jeopardy by standing in front of her vehicle. She put his life in jeopardy by, even if she was purely attempting to flee, we don't know her true intentions. If she was just attempting to flee, she recklessly endangered his life, even striking him with the vehicle. If we can play that video now, I just want to show a situation that happened last year in Fresno.
So in the video, one more time, she had turned to the right, away from the officer.
Yeah. Yeah, no, so he's trying to put it on the officer, like he should have been standing in front of the car. But again, if you're going to use that logic, then you might as well put it on Renee Good for she shouldn't have been there in the first place.
Officer. And on top of it, the first shot was fired. He was grazed. The first shot was fired.
It's
the first shot was fired already where his feet are clearly planted alongside the vehicle. He would not have gotten hit.
Again, this happened in 2 seconds, and he was hit. And that alone,
by the conditions
in the court's eyes,
that he caused. He caused.
No, he did not.
He did not cause it.
He also doesn't question.
Yeah.
How
did he cause it? He was just standing in front of her vehicle. How did he cause it? Is standing in front of a vehicle causing a situation? The hell's he talking about?
Shots where he is well out of danger.
All right, this happens all the time. I'm gonna play this video. It's about a minute long. Yeah, how do I? All right, share.
Bottom center, there's a green button with a little upward arrow.
How do I make sure I get the audio? I mean, I don't need the... Okay, there it is. Share sound.
If you haven't yet, hit that like, folks. We do appreciate that support.
Against him.
Mm-hmm. Let me take a look here.
And I have 2 other videos. I don't want to sit here and play a bunch of videos. I mean, I can if we want, but it's literally the same thing. The next one is New Orleans Police Department, where they stopped another robbery.
I mean, I would say in this situation, like just by looking at the vehicle, this vehicle, number one, it looked like it was moving a lot faster. This officer was also clearly taking cover alongside this blue, truck here. And it looks like that he is openly and taking conceded efforts to avoid getting hit, which is the exact opposite of what the ICE officer did in the Renee Good situation.
You just said he
that I think is the difference.
You said earlier he stepped to the side.
So he put himself into danger.
So did
and
that
then when it
right
moved
there.
forward, he moved off to the side, dodging it.
Yeah, I think Wi-Fi should have pressed him more because he keeps saying like he put himself into danger. I would have kept saying, well, she put herself into danger by parking in the middle of the street. I would have like pressed him on that.
You might be able to make an argument on that first shot that there's somewhat of a justification. On the second and third, shot, I can't find any justification there. He clearly was acting with a vindictive mindset to have
vindictive mindset.
Killed.
Well, no. All right. So if we can, and I'm not saying you're fully conceding this point. You're just doing it for argument's sake for this one point. I get that. But
the First Amendment's a mind reader now. He's clearly acting with a vindictive mindset. And yes, I'm sorry. I know I'm giving him a more manlier voice than he deserves. But it's just infuriating how he's like, well, he's clearly acting in a vindictive mindset. Like, how do you know that? Are you a mind reader now, First Amender? Huh? And by the way, thank you very much, Blaine P134 for $50 fucking dollars. Hell yeah, brother. Love your channel. Keep up the great work. Not one step back. Hell yeah. Thank you very much. You're a fucking legend, brother. You're a fucking legend. Thank you very much.
If we were to move past the first shot, those 2 shots after literally happened, or 3 shots. I'm pretty sure it was 3. I saw multiple articles where they said she had 4 gun wounds. I mean, maybe there was an exit and an entrance. I don't know. 3 or 4 shots within less than 2 seconds. So after that first shot, the second shot ends, or the third or fourth shot ends less than 2 seconds from that first one. How much faster would you like him to have understood what was going on?
Well, I mean, for starters, a reasonable officer, how much faster that he should have reacted? He shouldn't have been in the front to begin with. He shouldn't have to require that reaction. No, we're not past that.
Yeah, we are past that.
You were conceding for that argument that we were past that.
Yeah, we are. I think we are past that. Like, I mean, like that's the only thing that he has. Like, that's the only thing his whole argument is hinging on, is like he shouldn't have been standing in front of the car. Well, okay, again, with that logic, she shouldn't have been in the middle of the street to begin with.
Himself into danger.
All right, so now we're back to officer created jeopardy.
Even if you acknowledge if you completely ignore that first part, I mean, don't you think it is reasonable to assume that if you can get their license plate number and flee the scene, can't you then send them mail to let them know that there are charges against them? That's typically what happens. There's no reason to block them. And then on top of it, after they had stepped and got away, they're driving away. He's already safe. He's firing 2 more times. And even in the first shot, you can see that his 2 feet were planted on the side. He was not in mortal danger.
So, and again,
yeah, that's another thing that First Amender tries, is the whole, sorry, let me go back a little bit.
I don't know, 3 or 4 shots within less than 2 seconds.
He put himself into danger.
All right, so now we're back to officer
it placed himself into danger's way.
Okay, so there was but I'm saying he wasn't in front of the vehicle, and
once again pulled. I don't think you heard what I said. If the officer is, say, here, and the car is here, what could the driver potentially do to strike the officer?
Right. All right. So if you're saying he's like 3 feet from the vehicle, is that what you're saying?
He was less than a foot away from it. He was.
Are you saying if?
I could literally be within inches of a vehicle along the corner, and no matter what that car will do, even if I turned it in the direction of the officer, I would still be in.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you very much, Ken. Yes, just let them go so they can obstruct the officer again. That's First Amender's argument. Yes, it is. He literally says, like, yeah, just write him a ticket and just let him go. And even I'll show you guys after the debate review is over. I'll show you guys a super chat that I sent in because he's like, yeah, you should just write him a ticket. And I just sent in, I was like, oh, okay. So then he writes him a ticket, and then what? She's still parked in the middle of the street. So what? Just let her go? Like, what are you talking about?
After he got hit?
We could see the officer having fired his first shot. He got grazed. It's
okay,
not.
So there was contact, correct?
Grazed.
That's another gray. That's another quote from him. Oh, he got grazed. Oh, so he was still hit?
There was contact. I mean, I don't know if you think that means therefore you have a right to kill the person there after you've been grazed by a car.
The other guy, didn't even. This video I showed you, he didn't even get touched by the car. He was like 5 feet from the car at all times, and he lawfully shot. And he didn't end up killing those guys because he missed, but he would have very easily killed them.
Yeah.
So you can see right here.
Just going to ignore it.
Yeah, exactly.
By the time the first shot was
just going to ignore it.
You're not addressing at all what I'm saying.
Yes, I am. You're saying, oh, he got touched a little bit by a 4,000-pound vehicle, and that's not.
Oh, wait.
Make your point, please.
Dude, you should have. Yeah, no Wi-Fi. I get it. Like in these debates, it's hard, but like Wi-Fi should have stuck on him and be like, no, this is what you're saying, because why? First Amender wanted to interrupt because he knows he was wrong in this. Like he knows he was wrong.
They're turning to the right in this moment. This is when the first shot was fired. This is within one frame of the shot fired. You could see the smoke of the gun in front of the window. Right here, you could see both feet firmly planted along the side of the vehicle. He is not in harm's way. He moved out of harm's way. He had no reason to shoot.
Okay. So now what you're saying is you're going completely against your officer-created jeopardy line of argument. I just want you to concede that. You're saying there is no danger. Was he ever in immediate danger?
You're presuming.
Answer that one question for me, please.
You're presuming a single frame of existence.
No, I'm not. I'm asking you a very direct question, and you're avoiding it.
Decided to body block the vehicle.
Body block.
And I've already.
Yeah, good. Don't let him run. But yeah, that's another thing that he says. Oh yeah, he was body blocking. That's another favorite word of Amender's in this debate.
Again, I'm telling you that he had placed himself into danger. And then when you move out of the way of the vehicle, then you are no longer in danger. This isn't difficult.
When did he place himself in immediate danger?
There's a boulder.
No, I'm asking you a direct question and you're completely avoiding it.
If you walk to say, well, I'm explaining it to you. If you, for example, you're there in Indiana Jones world where there's a boulder.
This is where this is where stupid ass First Amender brings up the Indiana Jones fucking fallacy, where it's like, oh, if you were standing in the Indiana Jones world and there's a big boulder coming toward you, wouldn't you not move out of the way? And it's like, well, yeah, of course I'll move out of the way. The difference is, in your stupid ass analogy, is that the car wasn't moving when the officer was standing in front of it. It wasn't moving at the time. It was completely parked.
It's roaring to you. Let's say, for example, you can see where the boulder is going to be. So you stand in front of the boulder, and then the boulder is coming down. You're in danger, right? But then you get out of the way. If you're out of the way of the boulder's path, you're no longer in danger. Do you understand how that works? So when he physically
the vehicle was not moving towards him.
Yes, thank you.
The
vehicle was not moving towards him.
Yeah, it wasn't.
The vehicle was moving away.
It's disanalogous. So it's not towards him. All right. So when he placed himself in front of the vehicle, was there immediate danger to him?
He had escalated danger.
That's not answering the question. He escalated danger by standing in front of the vehicle. What the fuck?
Immediate
danger? Okay.
No, I don't say
that's not officer created jeopardy. Thank you.
But then he placed it. He decided to body block a vehicle. It's only a matter of
time not before officer it's created jeopardy.
Drive, and then what?
He's placing himself in a risky situation with potential risk, not immediate threat. You can't shoot someone based on potential risk. We agree there, right?
So then he's guilty. He
didn't shoot her based on potential risk. The vehicle hit him.
Yeah.
No, he didn't.
The video I just showed you.
It
graze still means hits.
Grazed him.
So it still contacted him, and that's all the court is going to care about if it ever went to trial. Now,
I promise you, if this went to court, he would have to answer for those 2 extra shots.
So then you would say the other guy should have had charges brought on him too, right?
Who?
The video I showed you.
I don't know. I
don't remember the video that you showed me. I'm a dumbass.
I would have to.
I just showed you the video. We saw the video, like you said.
Yeah,
we have video evidence.
Again, I don't know what the court would have argued that. I have no idea. I have to sit down and read that information, and it's also a completely different scenario with different situations.
So we see a guy who's 10, 15.
Well, that's the cope. That's the cope, Goobus. Oh my God, the vehicle only hit the left side of his body, so it doesn't count. Yeah. Well, that's the cope here. Like, oh, it grazed him. That's the best they could do. They can't say it didn't hit him at all. They have to say, oh, it grazed him. Or they have to do the fridge speaking of Indiana Jones, it's funny that they keep referring to Indiana Jones because you have the Boulder defense by First Amender here, but then you have the fridge defense. Like, oh yeah, I tried to close the fridge with my hip and I got slightly injured from it. Or the Brian Shapiro, like, I got a bruise from closing the fridge with my hip. And it's like, oh yeah, these tough refrigerators that can withstand nuclear blasts like in Indiana Jones. It's so crazy how this always goes back to Indiana Jones. Can we get Candace Owens on this to investigate this conspiracy?
Feet away from a vehicle. The vehicle drives towards him and would not
Clearly
hit him. He was in
the
a
attempt to hit him.
No, they were just trying to escape.
That did not look like they were trying to escape.
Why?
I think they were trying to hit him.
So then why didn't they back up and go try to hit him again? They were trying to get out of there. They weren't trying to get caught by cops. He shot him.
They're then going forward from there. What do you mean?
No, they did not get shot.
This is why, but here again, this is not
you're
analogous.
So you
to
completely avoided my original question.
I didn't avoid the question. I answered it.
Was there at any point immediate danger to him?
Immediate danger to him.
At any point.
I like how he has to think about that. Immediate danger to him. What could have been immediate danger to him? Like, I don't know. Yeah, the Indiana Jones is involved. I knew it. Yeah, Indiana Jones is involved.
No.
Okay, then there can literally, by definition, not be officer-created jeopardy. It was just an improper use of force. That's your only argument that you can make.
By placing yourself in front of the vehicle, the officer is directly escalating the situation, making things worse for himself. And it is also not an escalation. It is an escalation because he's trying to block. He's trying to block them from leaving. From escaping.
Is detaining someone?
He wasn't blocking in there. By the way, that wasn't in his intention. He wasn't like, okay, you can't go. I'm standing there. He was walking around the car, documenting everything. He was filming the car. He walked completely around the car, and then he ended up right in front of the car. But I don't think it was his goal to block the car.
Someone in escalation.
No.
Okay. So he was trying to detain her, correct?
So why not just let her go?
Was he trying to detain her?
Was he trying to detain her? I think that one of the officers claimed that they wanted to detain her to get out of the vehicle. Okay. I don't know if it was him directly saying that.
Well, when all the officers there are doing it, they're standing in front of her asking to get out of her vehicle. One person's giving a command. That's
is a part of detainment procedure to step in front of the vehicle.
Procedure and policy? No. Is it against the Constitution? Does it automatically revoke the Fourth Amendment?
So it's nothing to do with the Constitution. I have no idea what you're talking about. We're talking about state statute here.
Yeah, we don't care about state statutes. Why do we care about state statutes in this situation?
Because it's likely a trial that will happen by state statute.
How?
It's in the state of Minnesota.
So it's a federal
state of Minnesota are going to be the ones that will be doing the pressing the charges.
No, not at all. They're not. They can't even investigate. They can't even investigate because Trump blocked them. Because the feds blocked them.
Wait, just you wait.
Oh, just wait.
Just
all right,
so
tell me the statute that allows states to oversee and rule on situations that happen when federal officers.
So this is nothing to do with the discussion.
I'm just laughing because I knew Amender had nothing right there. Like he had nothing, and so his best was just you wait. Just you wait. And I'm like, dude, you got nothing. You're getting fucking smoked.
No, I'm just disproving your point. You don't like it.
It has nothing to do with the discussion. You're
talking about state laws affecting the situation. No, I'm not. You're talking about state laws.
The point is that he himself had placed himself into danger. And I'm glad that you brought up the Tennessee versus Gardner decision. The Tennessee versus Gardner decision literally argues against your point, not in your favor.
How?
Police may not use deadly force to stop a fleeing suspect unless the officer has a probable cause to believe that the suspect poses a significant threat of death or serious physical injury to the officer or others. But as I had showed already,
No.
The officer was well out of the way by the time that he had
No,
fired
he
his
got
first
hit
shot.
by the vehicle.
Once again, I point to you this footage here.
He was out of the way, but he got hit.
Away of the, but you could see it. That's when the first
this
shot
is
was
after he got
fired.
hit.
Yes.
That was when the
It
first
pushed
shot
him
was
to the
fired.
side of the vehicle because he got hit by a 4,000
Well,
pound
do you think
vehicle.
that he would likely be knocked over if he really got hit? I mean, come on.
No. Do you think he could have gotten
you would have
pinned from that
stood
situation? Hold on.
steadfast on
Let me ask
ice
you this.
track. Is it reasonable to assume if you
Would
get hit
she
by
have
a
gotten
car,
charged with assault?
Hold on. Is it reasonable to assume that if you get hit by a car and you're standing on icy road, do you believe that it is reasonable to assume that you would lose your balance and fall over?
Yeah, I know it's hard for you to believe, assuming you've never probably played a physical contact sport in your life. But guys like this, who put their lives in danger every day as part of their job, they actually do manly physical things, and you would understand that just getting hit by a vehicle doesn't mean you're just gonna go down. Have you ever been hit?
Yeah, exactly. Well, listen, Wi-Fi. These are the same people that argue like, oh, well, I got a bruise from just closing the fridge with my hip. Oh, I injured my hip by doing that. So these are the type of people you're dealing with.
By a vehicle?
I have no idea what that pejorative was towards my physical appearance. I have not insulted you once regarding physical appearance. I'm addressing directly. You can see here
So what, people with your physical appearance, by the way, later on in this debate, First Amender totally does a Rosie the Riveter pose because I forgot why. I'll show it later. But like he does a Rosie the Riveter pose showing like, oh yeah, I've been working out. So if you're working out, then what's your point there? That you're not really working out, that you can't really play sports? What does this have to do with your appearance?
Officer who is off to the side, he was grazed. I think the shakiness that you're observing from his own recorded footage is likely from him firing that gun, not necessarily from the force of that car. I believe the car likely grazed him on his leg, and he was well out of danger's way by the time that he had fired his first shot, as you can see in this frame right here.
It literally doesn't matter. Once he got hit by a vehicle that was accelerating aggressively towards his direction, just like in the other video I showed you, that officer did not even get a breeze from that car. And he shot that thing like 6 times, even as it passed him. Why is he allowed to do that? Because he's assessing the threat in real time. In the moments from when the vehicle...
I would have to spend the time to review this case. I spent
you don't like it because it completely undermines your entire point.
Exactly.
But it's just not
What do you
relevant.
do
It's a
in
different
case law? You compare cases. That's what precedent is.
That's true, but I would need to spend the time to understand what
Dude, he totally does look like Josh Peck. That's funny.
exactly was happened, why they weren't charged. I would likely find a different reason as to why that is the case. But I talking
I've given you all these other cases.
We can once again point, and they prove they disprove your point.
No, they don't.
Right? Because
when did I say he shot her for fleeing?
It specifically states in Graham versus Connor.
Yeah. When did I say that?
What?
Answer my question. When did I say that he shot her because she fled the scene?
When did I say that he shot her because...
Dude, in bed, not in bed. That would be hilarious. He takes off his headset and his hair is just connected to it. That's hilarious.
She fled the scene. You don't have to say that. I don't know if you said that or not.
When did I imply it?
That. I don't know if you said that. That's my point.
That's what you're telling me that I'm saying.
I have no idea what you're referring to. I'm not putting words in your mouth.
What are you?
I'm giving you my position. What happened? And we can observe very clearly she made conceited efforts to avoid hitting him, and he had placed himself into danger. And then on top of the fact, he fired 2 more shots after he was well out of danger's way. It is as clear as day.
You keep saying this.
Yeah, because that's the problem with the argument.
No, when you get refuted, you just repeat your point as if you haven't been refuted.
Yeah, exactly.
You didn't refute anything. You're not addressing it.
I did. So the officer created
what
jeopardy.
was the refutation?
Bringing up.
Go ahead. I'll write it down. What was your refutation?
My refutation is that you keep saying that the officer created jeopardy, right? This is a principle used in Supreme Court cases to interpret the Fourth Amendment. You're saying that this is going on at the same time holding that there was never an immediate danger that this officer was in. That's a contradiction. You can only hold one view.
Right. This clearly there seems to be a problem regarding your understanding of how time works.
And your understanding of logic.
So no, it's just okay. So check this out, right here. I'll help you out. Here we go. So I'm gonna share my screen real quick. Just give me a moment. Share, paint. Okay. So let's say, for example, right, we've got car.
Oh yeah, I forgot about this. His stupid freaking his little drawing here, his demonstration.
Okay, it's parked in the middle of the road. Officer is walking around. And then, right, car reverses. And that's when he steps in front of the vehicle and even stops while recording.
No,
he does. He does.
That's not even true. That's just a complete rewriting of what happened. It wasn't backing up and he freaking ran around to the front. That's not what happened at all. First Amendment is now just blatantly lying.
Front of the vehicle. Let's play the video. Let's play the video again.
Yeah, let's play the video. Yeah, play the video. It'll show that you're completely making shit up.
Front of the vehicle. Play the officer point of view. He was in front of the vehicle as it was reversing.
Yes.
Okay, so
it was reversing as he's in front of the vehicle.
In front of the vehicle, correct?
And so here she's reversing. He's now in front of the vehicle as it's reversing. Oh my God!
Or move out of the way.
He is. Yes, he should move out of the way. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
What law? What law?
What? His own safety.
Legally.
His own safety.
I don't care about his own safety.
So once again, right? They're
Oh yeah. What law? And First Amendment is like his own safety. So they're your own safety law, guys. I didn't know there was a law like that.
Required to disengage in this situation.
Oh my God.
You're not answering the question. You're just refusing to answer.
I'm trying to explain. I'm trying to explain how it goes from danger to not danger. Now you're asking me to explain something else. So
I'll let you
again,
finish your point, but I'm going to ask this question.
So again, I mean, it's just another. It's you're gish galloping the topic.
I'm not.
He stands in front of the vehicle. They're moving backwards. You could see that he is in front of the vehicle, and rather than getting out of the way, and then of course, hold on, he steps off to the side. Right? He's here. That's when he fires.
Yeah, no, shred faster. So he actually later on in the debate, he actually admits this. He actually says, "Oh, well, he wasn't in danger until she started accelerating. That's when the danger was started." And so it was like, "Oh, okay, then debate over. Debate over then. She was in the wrong."
Okay. And so
he steps off to the
and
side,
then on top of it, the officer is moving off to the right. So he goes from danger, right? This is danger. And then when he moves to the right,
I need clarification. No, I need clarification. I don't know what you're saying.
Oh, geez.
I just need clarification.
When he moves to the right, he's interrupting me. When he moves to the right, when he moves to the right.
But the words he's using, I don't understand. Sorry. I apologize. I don't understand when he uses the word danger. Is it potential danger or is it immediate danger that it needs to be clarified?
Is it dangerous to step in front of a vehicle that's not in neutral or park? Yes or no?
That doesn't clarify anything for me.
Holy crap. Answer the question. Is it dangerous to step in front of a vehicle when it is not in neutral or park?
Is it stopped?
Oh my God. All right, one more time. Is it dangerous?
Is the vehicle moving or
to step in front of a vehicle when it is not in neutral or park?
I don't know because you're asking vague, ambiguous questions without allowing me clarifying questions.
The answer is simple. The answer is yes. It's dangerous.
That's not my answer. So don't answer.
I know that's not your answer. I know that's not your answer. But most people that are even minorly logical on this topic would realize, yeah, it is dangerous to step in front of a vehicle when it is not in neutral or park.
Am I like insulting you or doing something wrong by asking for a clarification?
Yeah,
on
exactly.
a situation and a question.
You're asking
me?
if it has been stopped.
Yes,
But
is it
we
stopped
know
or
that the
moving?
car had
It's
been in
important
reverse. It was
context.
moving. The car was moving.
Okay, moving away from the officer backwards.
The car was moving away from the officer. Yes.
Okay, so that's not him putting himself in immediate danger.
So when you can
Which
see
you've
a very
already
clear, hold on, once again, it is a clear 2-point turn. I think anybody who knows anything about driving, realizing that it is a 2-point turn, she's clearly trying to escape. She's reversing so that way she has enough clearance to go forward. That anybody can look at that and see that that's exactly what she was trying to perform. She was trying to move off to the right. And so knowing that she is making a very clear 2-point turn, is it reasonable to step in front of a vehicle?
That's another cope that they do is, oh, she was just trying to do a 2-point turn. No, she wasn't. Where was she trying to do a 2-point turn? She wasn't trying to do that.
When they're doing that.
I disagree with you saying that this is
Sorry, is it dangerous?
I disagree with the way you framed the question. You framed the question as if
how I'm framing the question. That's
you not interrupt
what
me?
happened.
You finish. No, it's not. It's what happened by your interpretation.
It's
I have
not
a different
my interpretation. It's what can be seen in the footage.
She was trying to flee. To the officer's point of view,
to reverse and 2-point turn.
Yeah, why? I think he's thinking in his head, why is this chick reversing right now? What is she about to do?
I'm going to step in front of the vehicle to prevent her from leaving.
He's already in front of the vehicle, sir.
Yeah, he steps in front of the vehicle.
No, he doesn't. You already admitted he was in front of it. Stop lying.
Yeah.
What? I'm not lying at all. I'm trying to talk to you calmly, as clearly as I possibly can. I showed you the footage.
Show it again,
I have zero intent to lie to you. I want to get to the facts of the matter.
Then let's look at the facts and look at the video again.
To win a debate, or I don't look at debates as like this is something that I can win. Okay, I look at this as it's let's learn from one another, and to me it's like we're at the point where you look at somebody that is reversing and you think it is safe, or that you can't tell whether or not it's safe to step in front of a vehicle when they're not in neutral or park. I think I could ask a 5-year-old, hey, is it safe to step in front of a vehicle when it's not in neutral or park? They would say, no, you don't step in front of vehicles. Because why? Because it's common sense. You don't step in front of vehicles. He himself had placed himself into danger. Then he relieved himself of that danger when he stepped out of the way and they were driving forward. So you wanted to see specifically the footage where he decided to step in front of the vehicle. Gladly.
Right, but the reason I wanted to see.
Yeah. Meanwhile, First Amender is like, I never look at this as something as I could win. Well, that's obvious because you never do win. I don't think First Amender's ever won a single debate. So I actually believe him when he says, I never look at this as something I could win. Because, he never wins. So there's that. And also he's like, I'm just looking at this as something where we could learn from another. But has he ever learned anything? I would be curious to know what he's learned from debating right-wingers or these topics. Like, what has he actually learned? Because it doesn't seem like he's actually learned anything. Again, this is a guy who's extremely left, who's extremely partisan, who's extremely again, a lefty, who has read nothing but left-wing indoctrination and books and literature. But like, he's someone who's severely left, and yet he doesn't think I don't think he thinks there's anything he can learn from right-wingers. I honestly believe that he thinks that we're all just like hateful, bigoted people. I think that's what he thinks. He's even said that. Like, oh, I think I hate right-wingers, I hate Republicans, whatnot. I hate them. And it shows because he doesn't learn anything. So it's funny where he's like, I think this is just something that we could learn from each other. Meanwhile, I don't think he has any interest in learning anything from us. So I'm going to go fast forward a little bit.
They end up with some pretty horrible situations that you would have to justify, should I follow your logic? I don't think I will be doing that.
I think that he put himself in front of her car. Could you make the argument that she assisted in that? Maybe. And in the backing up, I'm not sure, but I think him putting himself in front of the vehicle does not constitute officer-created jeopardy unless the vehicle was already moving forward and he stepped in the direction of it.
This one from Bless My Vibe Code says, first amender, or they said first offender. He's not an offender. He's never okay. So they say this whole thing comes down to the fact that if people came to America legally, we wouldn't have any of these problems. I think they're saying that they're like, hey, I'm cool with legal immigration. It's when people sneak in that I don't like.
You're just arguing like effectively very much in favor of an authoritarian state. And that, whatever excuse that they present, I think your mentality there, it's potentially very dangerous there. I think you can actually end up with some pretty...
There's a super chat I sent him, but I don't think James posted, so it's kind of hard for me to find it. There's one part too, though, where first offender, he does his Rosie the Riveter pose. Here, let me try to find it. Could be here.
I put up I don't know, not even maybe 10 videos, and
this is where James is talking about his haunted house channel or whatever. All right, sorry guys, let me just try to find it. Oh, boo. It sucks because what helps me find these is when people post up the chats on the screen. I don't think James does this, at least on this one.
On immigration, or at least immigration enforcement, are you an open borders guy, or where do you fall on that?
I'm not an open borders guy. I think that our immigration system just needs to be easier to understand and follow.
Of course. Yeah, listen, I don't think we should have open borders. I just think it should be easier to become a citizen. Oh, okay. So what? Should we just give people a secret fucking code word or something like that, and then they're citizens? What does that mean, First Amender? By the way, thank you very much, Suzanne, for the $4.99. Hey, Vic, love a nice stream. Well, thank you very much, Suzanne. Your support is very much appreciated.
And it would result in people actually using the pathways to immigration. And honestly, it's both a problem of both Democrats and Republicans, where we have slowly convoluted it over time. Philosophy Cat just subscribed. Thank you for the subscription, Philosophy Cat.
This one from Cool V1C.
Oh, here's me.
That's your pal, right?
Yeah, Vic's awesome. Go check Vic out. He does live streams all the time.
I know, cool.
Wow, he's pals of both of you. He's a kind person. So thank you for your question. Says, I would have taken their information, then let them go.
So this was after, because First Amender is like, I would have just taken their information or given them a ticket and just let them go. So this is my rebuttal right here.
Quote unquote. But they were in the middle of the road still. You would have just left them there. Also, Wi-Fi.
They would have, the fact that one of the officers was trying to open the vehicle, she was immediately trying to get out and get away. So that's where I'm at with it.
So that's it. So, okay. So if you would have just given them a ticket and just left, they would have just eventually moved themselves, according to First Amendment. She would have just been like, oh, okay, thank you, officer. And then just drove off on her own. So what? When would she would have driven off? How many hours? An hour? 2 hours? How long until she would have driven off after you given her the ticket? And by the way, even if you were to given her a ticket and then left, okay, so then what? Would she have honored that? Would she have gone to court? Would she have paid the fine? Like, we all know she wouldn't have done that. So this whole take about, oh, well, just give her a ticket and then she would have left. Like, no, that wouldn't have happened.
You got it. Folks, don't forget to hit that like button. Crush it, destroy it. We got some couple last questions here. Yerba mate. Oh, that's right. I always say it wrong. Sorry about that, Matt.
Oh, yeah, Yerba mate. Yeah, that's Max and the gang. Yeah, he held the cope string after this. I watched a little bit of it, but it wasn't really that interesting where I would have like, yeah, we got to watch this cope. It's more of the same arguments. It's more of the same shit, more of the same arguments.
Seriously, it's just that I'm a boomer. They say after show on Yerba Mate Talks, but I think the way you pronounce it is different than that, but it looks like Yerba Mate Talks in
Yerba
the
mate.
live chat or if you type it into
Yerba mate. All right. That's it. That's the whole debate. Like, I was going to try to find you where they were talking about First Amender's dating life, which First Amender apparently isn't single anymore. So, you know, all you guys out there, sorry, he's off the market. Which, by the way, I'm assuming that he's with a guy. He's like, I'm bisexual, but you're probably with a dude. You're probably just gay and just don't want to be full on with it. But hey, whatever. You do you. Anyway, so that was that. I was kind of infuriated about this debate because it's just more lame excuses from these lefties. They refuse to take an L. They're willing to look retarded if it means defending their side. And First Amender definitely looked retarded this whole debate. Like, clearly she was in the wrong for this. Like, clearly, like, again, even if you think that, oh yeah, it sucks that she died over this and stuff. Like, you could think that, like, you can. But come on, you got to admit that her being there, parked in the middle of the road, and then she tries to drive off while he's in front of the car. Like, how can you blame him for shooting her? If it were the other way around, like, okay, let's say she was successful in running him over. Like, he didn't get out of the way. She ran him over and he died or got seriously hurt. You wouldn't be sitting here saying like, well, you know, that she shouldn't have done that. You would absolutely be sitting here being like, well, you shouldn't have stood in front of the car. So knock it off with this nonpartisanship. Like, you're completely partisan. You just don't like ICE. First Amendment even admits during this debate that he thinks being a part of ICE is immoral. So clearly he doesn't think that, even though he's not open borders, he does want you to leave the illegals alone. So keep that in mind. But what do you guys think? Sound off in the comment section below. Subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed this. And I have some more content on the screen that I think you'll enjoy. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, did you enjoy that video? I hope you did. If you did, make sure you like and subscribe, or else you're gay. I'm sorry, I don't make the rules. I'm just trying to save you from sin. Also, make sure you catch the cool stream live Mondays through Fridays right here on my YouTube channel. And make sure you follow me at any of these links down below for everything Cool Vic.